St. Louis Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. A look at the National League Central standings. The Cincinnati Reds with a 3.5 game lead on the Cardinals. They play later tonight. But right here at Busch Stadium, it's the San Francisco Giants in town. They have a very good club this year, and they've got a couple of new faces. One of them, Buster Posey, the rookie catcher, has shown that he can hit and hit with power. And welcome to the telecast. I'm Rick Horton alongside Al Raboski. And Al, not just Buster Posey, a lot of other new faces on this club.
Yeah, particularly like Pat Burrell and others, but this is a real change, just like the Cardinals. They've made some changes recently. We'll talk about those, but both these clubs are chasing the division leaders, and the Cardinals got to get going.
And the Cardinals have a new face of their own. He's in the lineup tonight, Pedro Feliz will be manning the third base position. More when we come back. Trying to get back in their winning ways. They have made a move, and they've acquired a veteran third baseman, Al.
Well, it was apparent that the Cardinals had to get a better defensive third baseman, so they pick up Pedro Feliz. He has been outstanding defensively, and he also has postseason experience with Philadelphia, and let's hope he will be ignited coming back here and playing for meaningful games.
Jose Oquendo knows a little bit about defense. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, he's a good defensive third base. He had a few good years in San Francisco with the bat and with the offense and defense. He's a guy who can play different, also different position, can play the outfield, can play second base if it has to, and if it's, I think I won an emergency, I saw him catching behind the plate. So he's a guy that it fit good with our ball club, especially at third base where we need some defensive work there.
And that's Jose Oquendo. Get ready for some good pitching this weekend. We'll have tonight's matchup when we come back. You know the Giants can pitch, so can the Cardinals. Today, a 21-year-old left-hander goes against the Redbirds.
He's the youngest pitcher to start a game for the Giants, make his major league debut since 1958. In the minor leagues, he was dominant, 34-6 with a 2 ERA. 4-4 up here. He's going to make his 11th major league start tonight. On the other side, Jake Westbrook, the veteran. His first 2 starts, he racked up 16 strikeouts. Then he started pitching like he is accustomed to. He won with his ground ball specialty, the sinker.
Westbrook looking for his second victory as the Cardinals. We'll take a look back at some of the walk-off moments the Cardinals have had against the Giants when we come back. The San Francisco Giants in town. 3-game series over the weekend. We thought it'd be good to look back at some of the great happy endings in this rivalry.
2 down. Sacks jammed. Lavelle at the belt. Checks. Brummer stealing off. He is saved and the Cardinals win. Brummer stole home. The dugout comes out and they congratulate it. You wouldn't believe it. 2-2 pitch. Line drive off field. Base hit. Okendo comes through. McGee scores. And with 4 runs in the 10th inning, the Cardinals come back against really insurmountable odds.
4-1. Okendo back to the wall. Makes it goodbye. A 2-run 11th inning Jose Okendo homer.
They can throw through to him. Now the ball is Moneyfelder's going to go to third and throws it away. And here's the ball game. Here comes Pena to score. And the ball game is over.
Langford into right. The Cardinals win it. Long one left field. This game is over. Lock in. Base hit. Cardinals win it.
Dunston powers it to left field. It's heading to the corner. Bonds leaping. It's gone. He deflected it out. The Cardinals have the lead.
Here's the pitch. Swing up the middle, and the pitcher has it boosted, and that's the winner. The pitcher booted the ball. It would have been a double play, but the Cardinals win it.
Ground ball deep short. There's a chance. Cardinals win. Matheny delivers.
First pitch to him. Edmonds drills it into deep right field. Way back, and it is off the wall. The game is tied. Nunez being waved home. He's going to score, and the Cardinals win it.
The 3-2. Rasmus, right center. Walk-off winner. Out of here. Rasmus wins it. And Colby knocks it out of the ballpark and sends us home. And maybe some more magic in the bat of Colby Rasmus off the bench tonight. We'll have our first pitch from Bush when we come back. Brought to you by Budweiser. With full flavor and a crisp, clean finish, it's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. We have had some rain here in downtown St. Louis. And we've got a new Cardinal playing third base. That's Pedro Feliz. As we take a look at the visiting San Francisco Giants lineup, they've had a lot of production at the top of that lineup. Torres and Posey. And Sandoval having a bit of a down year, but a very potent lineup. And Jake Westbrook is ready for Andres Torres with the game's first pitch. And it's on the corner for a strike. Jake Westbrook has pitched very well since coming over from Cleveland. He's our Marshall Wireless starting pitcher.
Absolutely right. He's had a quality start. All 3 starts he's made for the Cardinals. He did win his last start. And the month of August has been very good to him. He has a 20-9 record.
And there's that sinker. He took a little off of that. Might have been a changeup. That takes care of Torres for out #1. Defense has been an issue for the Cardinals all season long, and we'll look at it. Holiday, Jay, and Craig from left to right in the outfield. Feliz, the newcomer, at third. Lopez moves over to second base with Ryan up the middle. Pujols at first, and Molina and Westbrook the batter. Lopez playing where he's much more comfortable, Al, at second base.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the biggest thing for Felipe is he really didn't have that much experience at third base, and it started showing lately. Felipe has 11 errors. 10 of them were in about 49 games at third base. So he's in a more familiar spot. Hopefully we'll get his bat working a little bit, but it was very apparent that you had to have better defense at third base.
2-1 the count to Buster Posey, and I think a great opportunity to keep Lopez in the lineup today against the left-handed pitcher Bumgarner.
Sure, left-hander going here. Here's a hitting machine.
But Ryan will take care of Posey, and that hitting machine will have to wait for another time. And there's the ground ball we're talking about from Westbrook.
Exactly right. I mean, the strikeouts have been very unexpected, but Dave Duncan targeted Jake Westbrook several years ago and told Jocketty at that time and Mo now that if you have a chance to get this guy, he's the way I like pitchers. He pitches to contact, he throws ground ball outs.
And a first pitch strike to Aubrey Huff. Huff has had a nice year, 20 homers, 68 RBIs, and this Giant lineup so different than what they were even in spring training. A lot of key acquisitions. Jose Guillen is in right field. Pat Burrow, the left fielder. Freddie Sanchez is having a good year, and their manager Bruce Bochy has had to bring these new guys together.
Sure, and every year that Bochy's been here, they've gotten a little bit better.
Bochy's hard not to like.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, catcher during his playing career, kind of a backup guy. Had to go to winter ball and he had to bring a helmet, his own helmet to bat because his head is so big. No, minor leagues or big
they had
leagues.
To get through customs.
Yeah, it was, they had to pay excess because of how much it weighed too.
3-1 to Huff, and that misses way away. And a couple of errant pitches from Westbrook, 2-out walk.
That might have been by design because Huff in the American League with Westbrook, Aubrey Huff would hit almost 370 against Jake and got the 2 quick outs, put him on first base. Just make sure you concentrate and get Pat Burrell. Boy, what a resurgence for Burrell.
He's been hot of late. You bet. 5 of the last 8 games he has homered. And of his last 21 hits, 14 of them have been for extra bases. So not only has he resurfaced, but he's shown a little pop. He's really always had that.
Well, he always has. He's got, this is on the season, but 12 of his home runs have been wearing the Giant uniform, 12 of the 14.
There's that good sinker, misses down and in. And the Cardinals could really use a good performance from Jake Westbrook here tonight.
Ricky, I think we all expect it.
It's a long one, but foul. What are those called out?
Oh, foul ball's a strike.
That's it. It's a strike. That's it.
I mean, everybody gets excited about that, but the pitcher, he's going, man, I got my first strike against you. And you get all excited, and now I can get you out.
Learned from Larry Gura a long time ago. Now, and you may have played with Larry.
I played with Gura.
But he used to throw those changeups inside on purpose to get somebody to pull it as far as they could and as far as they could. And as foul as they could.
Everybody oohs and ahs, then go out and paint the outside part of the plate. Get a strike out there, even it up.
Huff is 5 for 5 in stolen bases. He's not going, and there's a hanger, and it's hit deep to left field, down the line. Holiday into the corner, and that is just another foul ball and another strike. But that's getting a little closer.
Oh, but Burrell's going, oh, I got you now, and really Jake's saying, I got you. How often do you see, I mean, it does happen, but how often do you see a guy hit a couple foul ball home runs and then really hit one, fair? It happens very rarely.
I wouldn't expect him to be trying to go to right with this pitch. Let's put it that way.
But you're right. He kind of dropped down a little bit and made it a little too good.
Set up outside, and he hits the spot. And the first base umpire, Ed Hickok, said that Burrell did not offer at that pitch. 3-2. Runner will be going. And I would say there's a little extra tension here at the ballpark, Al, for how the Cardinals have fared this homestand. And there's a pitch just missing, blowing away. 2 straight walks now for Westbrook.
The Cardinals need to stop this losing streak. A lot of high hope when they came out of Cincinnati. Were the division leader, and then one Friday night, but 4 straight losses. So a 1-4 homestand to this point, and these are very important games, not only for the Central, also the wild card.
Cardinals 1 game behind San Francisco as it stands now in the wild card. And Jose Guillen, the former Royal, brings his 17 home runs to the plate. Not a big guy, but he does have good power, very good arm in the outfield. Doesn't run well anymore. And he's had a very interesting career. He is definitely a producer, but there are times where he has worn thin on his manager and his teammates. There's a ground ball to Felice. He handles his first chance flawlessly. Over to Felipe Lopez. That's a good way to start. No score in St. Louis. First turn. As the rain seemed to have left downtown St. Louis, here's a look at the Cardinals lineup. Lopez, Craig, and Pujols. Holiday, the newcomer Pedro Feliz in front of Yadier Molina. John Jay has struggled on this homestand. He bats 7th. Westbrook will bat 8th, and Brendan Ryan, the shortstop, hits 9th for Tony La Russa. And their chore is to take care of Madison Bumgarner.
He just turned 21 on August 1st. He had 4. This ball will get out of play, but he had 4 relief appearances last year. And then he's made 10 starts this year at the big leagues, 4-4 at the big league level. But all you have to know about this highly talented young man, he was the Giants' first selection, 10th overall back in 2007. Minor league record of 34-6 with a 2 ERA. So even as a youngster, he was winning ball games. And as I said, 21 years of age, not your typical rookie left-hander that has had the Cardinals number.
And you expect young pitchers to develop a little bit slower than that, but he has certainly come on fast. There's a guy came on fast, although he had some college experience. Tim Lincecum. We'll see him tomorrow in this series. You bet, tomorrow.
Carpenter, what a great matchup that'll be.
There's an off-speed pitch, a great slider, backdoor on Felipe Lopez for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Here is a look at the Giant defense. Great arm in right field and Guillen. Burrell and Torres, the other outfielders. Freddie Sanchez hasn't made an error yet this season at second base. Buster Posey and Madison Bumgarner are the battery. Posey, not quite Yadier Molina world, but he does have a strong arm behind the plate.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, too, he's playing first base just to save his legs when he's not catching, keep him sharp. But, this Giants ball club, only 50 errors on the season. conversely, the Cardinals 7-7. If they catch the ball, and the Cardinals, hopefully with Felice, their defense will be much improved.
Alan Craig has the count in his favor, 2-0. A little late on that pitch. Craig has had a rough homestand, just 1 for 13, trying to get his feet underneath him here at the big league level.
His 7th start since he's been recalled. The latest time, he's been up and down 4 times. First time he's not played on an everyday basis.
And he's jammed, but this may make it. No, it does not. Over the head of the shortstop, Fontenot. Good location. Couldn't do much with it, Al.
Well, set up a little bit inside, and ball just kind of jams Craig. See, Albert can't answer, but it has been an offense that is summertime. Sometimes here, sometimes it's not.
Frustrating to a lot of fans.
Oh, well, I think it's frustrating to the players themselves. Tony La Russa, in particular, Mark McGuire, has, I like to think they have a very good scout report and a game plan. There's been many times where pitchers have thrown a lot of hittable pitches, and the Cardinals just don't take advantage of it.
That 195 on the inside corner. And he goes back in. Albert hits it hard to center field, but playable for Torres. 3 up, 3 down for the Cardinals. Plenty of good food at the ballpark. No score through 1 inning of play, as a lot of folks getting ready for a Cardinal victory, they hope, here this afternoon. Here are our Toyota keys to the game. Look at the career numbers of 4 of the Giants in the lineup today, all over 300 against the Redbirds. And swing and a miss by Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval at 266, averaged down a bit. Last year he was just on fire. Switch hitter. And has his power from this side, the left side, against the right-hander Westbrook.
Yeah, they aren't sure why he is not hitting Sandoval. Sandoval did hit a solo home run last night off of Cole Hamels. It was his first home run this season as a right-handed batter. He's hit like he did last year at home, where he's hit 327. However, his struggles have been on the road, where he's batting just 213.
Cardinals play him to pull. And he tries to go the other way with that 1-2 delivery.
Kung Fu Panda.
How about that nickname? Backs him off the plate with a 91-mile-an-hour sinker, trying to get it on the inside half of the plate to Sandoval. There's the numbers you're talking about, Al. 327 at home, more power there as well. And the 2-2.
He was a hitting machine a year ago. He's only hit 174 over his last 18 road games.
Sets up outside. Again, he hits the location. And you appreciate that. When you've got a command pitcher, you're going to get that more often than not. The catcher sets up one side of the plate or the other, and the pitcher will come through.
And when you can do that consistently, it sells the umpire. They want this one down. It was.
And it's popped up to right field. Alan Craig should have no trouble with that. And Craig playing in a more comfortable area in right field. Cardinals gave him a shot at third base, a position that he played at in the minor leagues for a bit, but he's really more of an outfielder.
Due to circumstances, when they acquired Freese and then when they made Wallace their #1 draft pick, they kind of said, well, let's move him. At first, you didn't want to go to first. You got Albert there, so they put him in the outfield. Fontenot looks funny outside of the Cub uniform.
He sure does. He's one of the newest Giants.
Mutton chops.
Brings another left-handed bat to this club. And I would say he's a pesky hitter. He reminds me a lot of their third base coach, Tim Flannery. Really, he always did. Kind of a pesky little hitter.
That's when Flannery wasn't on the surfboard. Or singing.
I didn't know.
Oh, you just got a couple recordings.
Watch out, Westbrook. Line drive up the box, first hit in this game, and that goes to Mike Fontenot. Giants had a couple of base runners in the first inning, but the first hit goes to the Giant shortstop.
Just a little bit down and in, and just shot right back up the middle. Lefties actually have hit a little bit less than the right-handed batters. 259 versus 272 for the right-handed batters, but they've loaded their lineup up with the lefties.
The numbers of Freddie Sanchez, the veteran second baseman, former National League batting champion. The average not where it's been in the past, but the defense is outstanding from Freddie Sanchez. He's always been a good defensive player. He's been a player at times where I wish the Cardinals would try to find a way to get him.
Well, like you said, he's a former batting champion. You mentioned earlier he hasn't made an error all season. It's about September 19th when he made his last one. In a hitting funk right now. He was 2 for 4 with a pair of runs scored last night, but still just 6 for his last 32.
Fontenot does not run very often. Stays put. Half hop past Brendan Ryan in the left field on that ball. Not exactly stung, but hit fairly well by Sanchez. Back-to-back hits now for the Giants. Good effort for Brendan Ryan.
Sanchez isn't going to sting the ball, so he's going to primarily a singles hitter. He pitch him away, catches a little bit too much of the plate, hooks the ball here, and Brendan tried to get over and backhand it. By him. The way he's playing defensively, you don't. If something gets by him, it's a clean base hit. Now Baumgartner, as an amateur, was a very, very good hitter. 130 hitter here in the major leagues, but as an amateur, like 2 years ago,
right? And he swings and hits the ball up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Fontenot rounds third, and he's going to score, and the Giants lead 1-0. And Madison Baumgartner helps his own cause. He doesn't hit it hard, but he hits the hole right up the middle as Brendan Ryan was headed towards third on the wheel play.
Just kind of, you're thinking it's going to be bunt. You see how they're shadowing out at second base, keep that runner close. They don't expect the bunt. He swings and bounces one through. John Jay coming charging it. No chance for Brendan Ryan to recover, who was going to third base anticipating a bunt. And they're on the board with 3 straight hits.
And that's just good execution by the Giants right there.
Torres is a switch hitter.
And he's having a very good year. He has good speed. He's stolen 23 bases. It's better from the left side. Struck out in the first inning, and he has made Aaron Rowan a bench player in the kind of year he's having. 1-1 pitch. Now 1-2. Rowan's had a great career. Very good defensive player himself. Nice guy to have on your bench. Torres having a breakout year. Came up with the Tigers in his early years in the big leagues and really a .230 hitter until this year, and things are clicking for him.
Well, that's sometimes you change environment, you get into a situation where you have that opportunity and run with it. It's also been good with runners in scoring position, except for lately.
And the 1-2 is on the inside corner for a strike. And that's the second time Andres Torres has struck out here tonight.
You got to be careful when you throw it down and in, but if they don't swing at it, it's a pretty good chance they're not going to hit it. It's kind of like Yogi when, 80% or 90% of all short putts don't go in.
Yogi said it. It's certainly interesting.
I didn't have time to really talk about Posey, but boy, has he been on a hitting tear since he's come up in the minor leagues. He was considered their #1 prospect in their organization, and Baumgartner, the pick tonight's starter, was #2. But he 341 since coming up for the minors.
1-1 to count to Posey, and there's a good off-speed pitch. Actually a good sinker. Bottom just dropped out of that pitch by Westbrook.
Another reason Westbrook just doesn't look quite comfortable. Looks like he's fighting, sucking for air. Is a very humid night.
And the 1-2. Slider in the dirt. Batter Posey, second among qualifying rookies with his .341 batting average. John Jay leads at .350.
But so many other categories, he's leading the rookie hitters.
And the rookies don't have to have as many at-bats to qualify for the league title.
As a matter of fact, John Jay just this week got enough to qualify.
This ball hit in the gap, and John Jay tries to run it down and can't. That's going to reach the gap. It's going to score 1. And the Giants lead 2-0 as RBI number 46 from Buster Posey hits the right center field gap.
It's the pitcher running and being conservative with the youngster. Tim Flannery holds him up. Posey adds to that .341 batting average, 1 for 2 on the night. Ball you thought might hang up enough for somebody to get underneath it. It doesn't. Hits to the wall. Hanging breaking ball, a little loop in it, and he drives it out to right center.
Ball really carried, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I initially thought somebody would be able to catch that, but then it really didn't look like anybody got that close.
Good hitters just seem to find those gaps. 1-0 to Aubrey Huff. There's a strike on the outside corner. Huff walked in the first inning. And it's been a good inning here for the Giants. They picked up 4 hits, including the RBI double by Buster Posey, to take a 2-0 lead.
mentioned Houck, one of the few Giants that has faced Westbrook. He is 7 for 19 against him, now with 4 walks.
And the 1-2 is lined to left field, but handled by Matt Holliday. Good offensive inning for the San Francisco Giants. Jake Westbrook's going to have to regroup. Holliday, Felice, and Molina when we come back. Text poll, who is your favorite former Giant? Will Clark, Juan Marichal, Willie Mays, or Willie McCovey? Then text Giant A, B, C, or D to 432-432. And that'll be interesting.
Where's Kenny Reese? Where's Jack Clark?
One of my favorites is Hal Lanier.
Hal Lanier.
Because he became a Cardinal coach and was very supportive. And I understand he was in St. Louis this week.
I knew he was at the Bloomington Normal, where the Cardinals semi-distinguished themselves if they lost to the Cubs.
There was a Cardinal Cub alumni game, I understand. I'm glad I was not a part of that. Because the Cubs did win that.
Yeah.
Matt Holliday leads it off for the Cardinals. And we'll see if they can get some runs back off of the left-hander Baumgartner, who is really young and in the big leagues. And how about this guy? He spent a lot of time as a left-handed phenom in the minor leagues, Al. Parts of 8 seasons. Dave Righetti, the pitching coach for the Giants.
Came up with the Yankees and had 2 real careers. One as a starting pitcher, and then late in his career as a closer, and excelled in both areas. Very, very good pitcher. Usually when you see a kid gets to the big leagues when he's 20, then raced up through the minor leagues, and it's a development. It's nice if you can win, but it's not crucial. But that's what is extremely impressive about Baumgartner. He's won 34 out of 40 decisions with a 2 ERA. #1 draft pick, as a target, bullseye for certain people. And
almost too easy when you're winning like that.
And I mean, even here at the big league level, his ERA is 3.20. So I mean, he's not really having trouble here either.
He has been touched up a bit more in his last 4 outings. 0-2 with a 4.7 in those games.
Very little run support.
And a swing and a miss takes care of Holliday. That's the second strikeout for this left-hander Baumgartner.
But you gotta love this young man. When he got his wife for birthday present. He's from North Carolina. And this little breaking ball kind of slung it up there. But just turned 21 August 1st. He's married, and he's got to be making pretty good money. Had to get a big bonus as a #1 draft pick. So what do you get your wife for a birthday present?
Probably diamond or something like that.
Not if you're Palm Garden, you get a milking cow.
Really? You gave her a cow?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
Now, Tim Flannery said he made all of us look good because he could tell his wife, the third base coach for the Giants, he said, "Hey, honey, all these millionaires, that's what, they give their wives for, so don't expect much from me."
There's a ground ball foul. Pedro Feliz in his first at-bat as a Cardinal.
Well, hopefully Feliz will kind of pick up the pace and revert back to his earlier days when he was a very productive hitter and really a home run hitter. He had 4 consecutive years with the Giants where he hit 20 home runs or more.
And there's a base hit. His first at-bat as a Cardinal, very productive. And the Cardinal fans appreciate the debut here in St. Louis of Pedro Feliz.
Been in 3 different World Series. He has a total of 80 home runs in his career. That's a minor 135 home runs. I was going to say, how could you have 4 years of 20 or more? I have 80, but
not very productive this year with the Houston Astros.
No,
Chris Johnson's having a great season, a rookie, and he's been getting most of the playing time.
Yeah,
and there's a base hit. Yadier Molina. First pitch swinging. Back-to-back hits with 1 out here for the Cardinals in the second.
Well, we're so accustomed to seeing him hit the ball to right, but see, this ball was on the inner part of the plate instead of using his hands and inside out the stroke to right field. This time he pulled it. Line drive, so nothing wrong with that. John Jay, who you talked about, leading all National League rookies in batting average, he can come here and help out.
I would think this left-hander would be very tough on lefties with his delivery. He kind of slings the ball. You mentioned that, Al.
Hit
his
about
breaking ball.
210 against him.
And that average goes up a bit as John Jay gets the 3rd straight Cardinal hit. Perfect swing for Jay, taking it the other way past the third baseman Sandoval, and the Cardinals have something going here in the second.
Yeah, Feliz could not score because he had to hold there, thinking there was a possibility of the line drive being caught by Sandoval.
Now, the one thing you want to guard against here if you're the Cardinals is the dreaded double play. Bases loaded, you got the pitcher batting. What's Jose Oquendo saying to Jake Westbrook?
You never know if it's, the squeeze is on. This club does not manufacture many runs. He got beat on Wednesday by small ball and execution. Come to a new ball club, you got to go over all the signs, get everything you had with your old club. It's usually one thing is an indicator, and then you watch for, once you see the indicator, you watch for other touches.
One strike pitch is.
This is one of those rare times that a strikeout isn't the worst thing.
I was just thinking, man, that one was blown by the batter of Westbrook. You just don't want the double play here. Oquendo telling him to hit down on the ball. This lefty throws pretty hard.
Yes, that's what I was saying. He's not your typical left-hander junk baller that comes up here and just has his way with the Cardinals.
The Cardinals are honored to present a special ticket discount to all military personnel, active, reserve, or retired. All military personnel, along with their families, can receive a special ticket discount for select games in August and September. For more information or to purchase the discounted tickets, visit cardinals.com/military. Brendan Ryan with a chance to bat here with the bases loaded. Cardinal fans will remember he had this opportunity recently to win a Cardinal game in the bottom of the 9th inning. And had a pretty good at-bat in that game against Trevor Hoffman, but wasn't able to come up with a hit.
But you knew how he can't really stand in the batter's box without, lack of balance. He just can't just hold there, and lack of movement in his swing that, he'd be so susceptible to that changeup from Trevor. He hit a couple balls, pulled a couple balls.
He did.
And he hit it well, but finally he succumbed to about a 73-mile-an-hour changeup.
Baumgartner throwing fastballs in and sliders away. The Cardinals have runners at every base. Felice, Molina, and Jay.
Brendan has hit .294 this month. 15 hits with just 1 RBI.
Swing and a miss at an off-speed pitch.
Watch Brendan now. Watch all the movement he has, but watch how he finishes. It just falls across the plate. He just has very little balance. I talked to Mark McGuire about it. He said, we've tried, but Brendan says this is the only way he feels comfortable.
The 1-2 to Brendan Ryan almost gets away from the catcher. Very good footwork by Buster Posey to block that pitch. He had to move quickly.
Looked like our friend Mike Matheny
sure did.
Signed an autographs in the Ford Plaza before the game. Watch the weight shift. As breaking ball inside, bounces in front, but good technique to get there and block it.
Squaring up so the ball doesn't bounce off him and go towards the third base side. And the 2-2 to Brendan Ryan is a base hit up the middle. If he can reach it, he does. No, he called him out, but he doesn't have the baseball. Well, how about that play?
And Hickok almost found himself quite embarrassed.
Ticketed for a base hit up the middle. Fontenot makes a great play and almost throws out Brendan Ryan.
It really wasn't hit that hard, so Fontenot was able to get to it, but Brendan always hustling, and you see Hickok calls him out, and Dave McKay's trying to tell him, don't touch him, Dave. Trying to get back there, but thinks he muscles it out over here. Fontenot gets to that ball, slings it over, but it's going to be in the dirt, and Huff can't take it. Has that big hop. But look at Hickok. The first base umpire called him out, and then he realized the ball was not in the glove, and so he reversed the call. And luckily, Brendan got back because he was a little upset.
Almost have to call that an error if Hickok called him out, don't you? Very tough play by Fontenot. He had to throw that off balance.
And in the meantime, 1 run does score.
And that gives Felipe Lopez a chance to give the Cardinals the lead. Well, they're scoring at an infield hit and no error.
With Yachty running, it would have been very difficult for him to score. So he's at third base now. Bags full.
The 1-1. Pop foul for Lopez. Lopez struck out looking in the first inning. One of 3 strikeout victims for Baumgartner, who's being forced to work a little bit more here in the second inning.
Felipe just under 300 right-handed. and only 222 left hand. Pretty much straight away, the outfield.
The 2-2 to Lopez. It's popped into center field. Should be no trouble for Torres. Let the Cardinals pick up a run. Infield hit by Brendan Ryan and an RBI. It's 2-1 Giants through 2. Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Jack in the Box. Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo, served with curly fries and a drink for $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. Here's a beautiful look at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals trail by a run. And Pat Burrell leads it off for the Giants. He's the cleanup hitter for this Giant club. And the Giants are 6th in the National League in batting. Cardinals have actually moved up to 2nd as far as batting average at .265. But they do have some pop in the middle of this lineup, and Burrell is one of them.
That great collegiate career. It looked like he was off to a fine start with Philadelphia. Kind of became expendable, went to Tampa Bay, and moved on over to the Giants.
He's one of those hitters, Al, that has very little movement as he's awaiting the pitch. You talked about the balance issues with Brendan Ryan, and John Jay certainly moves his hands a lot, but Burrow is the opposite. He'll just get stationary, almost like a statue, and not move until the pitch is on its way. Ground ball handled by Felipe Lopez. Pretty comfortable playing second base. Out number 1 for the Giants here in the 3rd.
Well, Ricky, go back to, we're talking about Brendan Ryan and Mark McGwire was talking about. You're right. There's very little movement for Pat Burrell, and easy play for Felipe, who's, as you said, much more accustomed to playing second or short rather than third. And then all of a sudden, Albert Pujols got in the batter's box. And you talk about the other extreme where no movement at all. He just gets set and pulls the trigger and explodes to the ball. But not everyone can be that quiet.
There's another ground ball Lopez's way. Backs up on it and throws out Guillen. Good inning so far for Westbrook. mentioned he was perhaps struggling a bit in that second inning with his command, maybe even the humidity here in St. Louis. We had some rain early on. In fact, a lot of rain early on.
Yeah, some big storm came through, and there is more later this evening.
And the humidity has stayed with us.
Pitch running in on these left-handed batters, they give up on it, and it tails back to the inside part of the plate.
Another good location from Westbrook. Westbrook is 1-0 with a 3.3 ERA as a Cardinal. Westbrook, for the most part, has been a pitcher who's had great control. He does have a couple of walks in this game.
His real strength is he is one of the best in the league at getting ground balls. All of baseball, really. And that 2.5 ground ball to fly ball ratio.
And the fish weren't biting on that sinker. (3-2) to Pablo Sandoval. This ball hit hard to right field and deep, and off the back of the Cardinal bullpen, and 3-1 Giants.
Talking about how those home runs been down this year, but probably wouldn't believe it. So he's had back-to-back home runs last two contests.
And that was of the line drive variety.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. 3-2 pitch. And you see the action there, but he goes down and gets it. And just a line drive that hits into the bullpen. Fontenot just jammed on that one. Here's Sandoval's home run. 421 feet. Off the MasterCard sign.
I believe there's a dent on that sign. That ball was hit very hard by Sandoval, and there's a strike to Fontenot. 0-2. Fontenot singled and scored in the second inning. And the Giants get their run back.
We talk about the dents Cardinal hitters make.
And there's a swing and a miss as Fontenot can't hold up. Strikeout number 3 for Westbrook, but it's 3-1 Giants. afternoon. We have a nice crowd here at Busch Stadium for a Friday night, and the fans may be getting a little bit restless as they find their Redbirds trailing once again. 3-1 is our score. And the Cardinals with Craig, Pujols, and Holiday in the bottom of the third will try to get to Baumgartner. And there's a swing and a foul back by Alan Craig. He lined out to the shortstop in the first inning. And the Cardinals need to get some offense moving here.
Nice article in the Post-Dispatch on Alan Craig is trying to find that balance coming off the bench. It's real tough that first time. You know, you just been accustomed to being an everyday player and a very good one. Still very productive when he goes down the minor leagues, but hasn't, you know, playing consistently here. Just hadn't had that time.
And a swing and a miss takes care of Craig. Strikeout number 4 for Baumgartner.
Elevate that ball, go up the ladder, get him to chase it.
I also read now where Baumgartner is from a town of less than 3,000 people, a little town called Hudson, North Carolina. And when he went to sign in the minor leagues, he was so homesick he almost quit his first year. I would say the Giants are glad that he did not, as he faces Pujols, who lined out to the center fielder Torres in the first. But that is something that happens with some young players that sign out of high school.
And, you know, maybe that's why you run home and get married. You have your best friend with you and kind of have some kind of
And there's a line drive to center field. Back goes Torres to the track, to the wall. And he makes the play up against the center field wall. Andres Torres went a long way to get that ball. He made that look easy.
He was able to get back far enough. You see the ball out away from him. Albert gives it a ride, but he, with his good speed, got close enough to that wall so he could jump up and haul it in. It would not have gone out, but it would have been an extra base hit if not for the catch.
You talked earlier, Al, about how good this Giant defense is.
Can't catch that one.
Base hit for Matt Holliday. Cardinals have caught the Giants in hits, but they trail by 2. Defense certainly matters, and that is the reason you mentioned earlier the Cardinals went out and got Pedro Feliz.
Yeah, and when you think about the Giants, you think about good pitching. But you can make a good staff into a very, very good staff with good defense.
Feliz pops up the first pitch, should be handled by the shortstop Fontenot. And that retires Pedro Feliz. Cardinals strand a runner. We're through 3. Cardinals trail by 2. Top of the fourth inning, 3-1 Giants. Freddie Sanchez leads it off for San Francisco. He singled and scored in the second inning. And Jake Westbrook has had to throw a lot of pitches through the first 3 innings. And he's 2-0 on Sanchez. He fouls that one off.
Three pitches thrown already.
There's 74 fouled off the front foot of Sanchez.
Running in on him, swung at it, and pounded off his foot.
You get that a lot with sinker ball pitching.
Yes, you do. And you see he's already wearing a shin guard. So, talk about former National League batting champion Freddie Sanchez and number 264. Only 241 versus right-handed pitching. It's the lowest in his career.
Still doesn't seem very comfortable as he gets back into the box against Westbrook.
Throw another sinker.
You bet. Whoa. Pretty good spot there.
A little low, but he didn't want to swing it.
Right. Full count to Sanchez. Is hit on the ground towards Feliz, and he's going to let that ball go foul. Feliz has already handled his first chance as a Cardinal. Did that in the first inning, and then he got his first base hit as a Cardinal in the second.
Yeah, Pedro was very good defensively, very soft hands, so want to beat Felipe up too much, but he was playing out of position, trying to do it for the team. But when defense was suffering, and so was his average.
And a strike on the outside corner takes care of Freddie Sanchez. We talked earlier about the couple of different approaches you can have to hitting, Al, and we've got to look at a Giant and a Cardinal.
Well, Pat Burrell is going to be very steady. He's on your left. He just gets to that set position and just really very little movement with the bat, but look at the legs, how solid, in the head is right there. Line drive. Off the pitcher's bat, Bumgarner. And then you get John Jay, all of his trigger mechanism, everything to get ready, but he'll get to a certain point to where, he loads up on the backside, he gets the arms in sync with his body, and he's right there to pull the trigger.
And you mentioned that Bumgarner can hit. He lined that ball right at Albert Pujols, and a chance for a quick inning for Westbrook. Torres has already struck out twice here tonight. And he was late on that first sinker.
Off the plate there.
Westbrook works quickly, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Front shoulder flew open on that pitch, so kind of reining him in a little bit. Takes a little more time than it normally, but Gotti trying to calm him down.
And there's a good sinker on the inside corner. A couple of strikeouts for Westbrook. Bumgarner getting ready to go to work. He'll face Molina when we come back. Davidson Mortgage, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch, 99-99 on the mound, throwing 99.
Ricky, those are his granddaughters.
That's close to 99.
Yeah, that was 99 miles an hour from Ray Vincent. 99, 99.
Oh, you did it well.
Double play ball. 99, 99.
Oh, nice to visit with them up
those
here.
Those two were twins. Those were the little girls I brought up in the booth.
Aren't they cute?
Olivia and Abby, if I remember right.
Yadier Molina leads it off. That was Brian Anderson, Cardinal backup catcher, who was receiving that ceremonial first pitch. Jason LaRue was put on the disabled list, actually the 60-day disabled list.
They put him on the 60-day disabled list, and that allowed them to have a roster spot to have Felice. And then to get on the 25-man roster, they sent out Stavinoa. But Ray Vincent, that's the way he talks. Not just the commercials.
And a ground ball to the shortstop should take care of Molina, and does. No hurry by Fontenot.
Now, he's been in the Central Division for a long time, so he knows the foot speed of Molina, and just kind of took his time, put a nice little crow hop in there, and just guns it over.
He made sure he got the right hop.
But yeah, he could lay back and make sure he got that clean hop, and knew he had plenty of time to get Molina out.
A good first at bat by John Jay broke an 0 for 10 streak for the Cardinal rookie. Single to left field. And that evens the count on the Cardinal center fielder Jay. Colby Rasmus has been dealing with calf issues of late. He's on the Cardinal bench, and there's a base hit down the right field line. This could be more than one. John Jay rounds first, heads for two, and he was thinking about three, but pulls up as the right fielder Guillen has a very strong arm and gets it in. A one-out double for John Jay, and he's now 2 for 2 against his left hand.
And one to left. Now this one, he pulls the breaking ball just inside and down in the corner. You're right about Guillen's throwing arm. John Jay thought about it, but if he would have known that Freddie Sanchez, the second baseman, going out to get that cutoff, was going to let it bounce, he would have gone to third for sure. But he's in scoring position.
For Jake Westbrook, who pops this one into right field.
It would have been deep enough if it was on third.
And there's that arm of Guillen. To Hopper to third, but not in time to get John Jay, so a productive out for Jake Westbrook. You can follow the Cardinals on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. For more info, visit Cardinals.com today. I got to tell you, that feature is something else, Al. MLB.com at Bat 2010. Have it on my phone. Unbelievable how good the picture is. Brendan Ryan with another chance to drive in a run, and he takes a strike at the knees.
Brendan drove in Cardinals' lone run, his 23rd RBI. He singled up the middle.
And he pops this one up on the infield in foul territory. Handled by Audrey Huff. Cardinals strand another runner. Our division leaders, the San Diego Padres, the Braves, and the Reds. And there's the Cardinals listed just below San Francisco. This includes potential wild card teams, Philadelphia, San Francisco, St. Louis, and Colorado. And there's other teams lurking that have a shot. But that's where we stand on August 20th, game 119 for the Cardinals.
3.5 games behind Cincinnati, who's at L.A. They'll be playing later on tonight. And then 2 games out of the wild card, 1 behind San Francisco, who is 1 behind Philadelphia.
And I wonder, Al, who would have picked those 3 division leaders at this point in the season? Who would have been gutsy enough to say San Diego, Cincinnati, and Atlanta?
Maybe Atlanta. But even that one was doubtful. Yes.
Tough division.
Hard not to pick Philadelphia to repeat. The Mets.
Yeah, you thought you might get more out of the Mets and perhaps the Marlins.
They got kind of an ugly situation with their closer.
And Buster Posey is retired. And a good start for Westbrook here in the 5th. Bring the family down this Sunday, 2 hours prior to the Cardinals game. Enjoy complimentary frozen treats and win fun prizes in the Ford Plaza, courtesy of North Star. For tickets, call 314-345-9000 or cardinals.com.
Are you aware of the K-Rod's situation?
I am. Base hit to left.
Huff.
By Aubrey Huff. That has been a...
Yeah, they, you know, after being arrested for punching out his father-in-law. It's actually a girlfriend's father, but the father, you know, he is the father of her baby, broke his finger. And the Mets have put him, K-Rod, on the restricted list, and now the Players Association is trying to say, and they're trying to see if they can release him and get out of paying the rest of his contract. Players Association, you know, and he broke the finger, and you know, outside the Players Family Lounge at the stadium, Players Association says they have no cause. We'll see.
1 strike on Burrow, now 2. Sinker on the outside corner, and you can hardly imagine a worse clubhouse situation than the Nets must be dealing with right now. They are imploding.
A lot of money being spent and not getting a lot in return.
Two strikes to Burrow. Westbrook would like a ground ball right here. Get that double play. The Cardinals have been very good at producing double plays.
Well, one, they have a ground ball pitching staff. And they give up hits, but always have that ability to turn 2.
And of the 4 top pitching staffs in the National League, the Cardinals are the ones that are more the pitch to contact team, more so than San Diego, than San Francisco.
And that's what Dave Duncan preaches.
And that's why they lead the league in double plays turn.
Sure. And what you're talking about is some of the other teams might have more strikeout type pitchers, where the Cardinals pitch to contact. When you do so, so many are going to go through, but you always have that ability to get a ground ball. If you cannot walk people and keep the ball in the ballpark, you should win.
There's a ground ball, but foul. San Diego leads the National League in pitching with a 3.18 earned run average, which is outstanding. They'll, of course, have a good park to pitch in as well. Atlanta's second, Cardinals third, and San Francisco fourth. Cardinals have turned a leading 130 double plays.
Brendan Bryant's been involved in more double plays than any other shortstop. You're playing in the National League West, particularly the night games there where the ball really doesn't travel. You know, you could be a fly ball pitcher. With very few ballparks can you be a fly ball pitcher today.
Down goes Burrell, out number 2 here in the 5th inning. This week on Fox Saturday Baseball, Jason Hayward and the National League East leading Braves head to Chicago. They'll take on Aramis Ramirez and the Cubs. Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Sprint, returns this week at 3 p.m. And a ground ball. This is going to be a tough play for Feliz. He's not able to barehand it. And that should be an infield hit for Guillen.
Do or die, you come in there. So well placed that even Jake Westbrook had a great effort at it, but you got to come in barehanded, throwing the run. And the ball just slipped out of his hand. Dave Duncan will have to talk with Sandoval.
And you think Duncan would have something to say to make sure that Westbrook stays around out of that area that Sandoval hurt Westbrook with, that off-speed pitch in the middle of the plate, 400-plus home run in the 3rd inning. And a dangerous situation here for Westbrook as his pitch count continues to soar.
Papa went down and got that off-speed pitch. And already 98 pitches.
There's some relievers stretching in the Cardinal bullpen. Nobody's throwing yet, but they're stretching. First pitch to Sandoval, swing and a miss. He threw it by him, up and in.
Well, I think the difference is it's up. Sandoval looks like he's mad at himself for not making contact. And see, this ball is up there. And he looked like he was trying to swing for the fences too.
I'll say.
Tries to go away. Chevy pitch by pitch, first time up. See, the ball's down, a little off speed, but he's way out in front, and he just hit the ball to right. Now it's a similar pitch, just slightly a little higher. Still went down and got it, and that's when he lined for the home run, 421 feet into the Cardinal bullpen. Get the ball up higher.
That one's up and in, but line foul by Sandoval.
And like we were talking earlier, is going to go in there, far enough to where the only thing they can do is pull it foul.
It's one of the things we've always said about Albert. When you go up and in on him, he has had that ability over the years to keep that ball fair. Not very easy to do. Keeping your hands inside the ball.
Sometimes you feel like you're hitting it off your belt buckle.
And there's a ground ball to the second baseman, Lopez. He flips to Brendan Ryan. And Westbrook has made it through 5. Felipe Lopez, top of the order for the Cardinals. As Redbirds trying to find a way to string some hits together. They did it in the second inning. A base hit by Feliz, then Molina, then Jay. And ultimately an infield hit by Brendan Ryan led to the only Cardinals run we've had in this ballgame, as Madison Bumgarner is doing a very good job.
Ricky, 4 hits in the second inning, only produced 1 run, 4 singles. Of the Cardinals' 6 hits, 5 have been singles.
This left-hander Bumgarner has a motion you probably wouldn't teach young guys to have. He really gets the ball behind him and then slings it, and you'd think he'd be a pitcher that'd have a hard time commanding his fastball.
He's 21, so they really aren't sure what happens or what they'll get from him, but it's been impressive so far.
I guess it's working. I guess it's working, so don't try to fix it.
What you're going to talk about is how far his arm goes back behind his back. See it fully out there, and then you've got to catch up. And that's where a lot of times you have trouble throwing strikes, is, you know, your upper half is not in sync with your lower half. But, you know, he's going out there, changing speeds, competing. A little bit of this, and doing a nice job of getting in on right-handed batters.
Alan Craig is 0 for 2. And the other thing you think about with this motion, if you're the San Francisco Giants, is the longevity of a pitcher like this. Will it ever lead to a shoulder injury? You certainly hope not.
You know,
base hit to left.
I come from that school that, you know, you just go out there and whatever's natural for you, you don't tinker with it. You don't try and change somebody until you fail.
And it's trivia time. What team has the lowest home run total in the National League since 2004? That's our AT&T trivia question. And the answer is the San Francisco Giants.
Cardinals are 5th.
Albert Pujols. And we know what he can do with one swing of the bat.
Dan and I had a guest the other day that came up here before the game and said, "What's wrong with Albert?" And I had to inform him. I said, he's tied for first in home runs, he's leading in RBIs, and he's 5th in batting average. Yeah, but what's wrong with it? He has set the bar so high that when he doesn't come through, and I mean, he's still leading the National League in game-winning RBIs. Just such a productive hitter, but what have you done for me lately?
Hitting .351 at home. The 1-1 to Albert. And he put a charge into one in his second at bat here tonight. He took Andres Torres back to the wall. He's lined out to center twice. And he's down 1-2 in the count here. Albert in his career has been so good when he's behind in the count. You think you've got him, and you don't.
That's a trait with all great hitters. They're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And as you say, you know, sometimes you could trick a pitcher thinking he's got you, and it's really the other way around. Albert has set you up. Will they get it inside?
Ball 3.
Oh, the birthday girl is pulling for Albert. Happy birthday to Ciola Richardson from Springfield, Missouri. 89 years young today.
And she'd like to see something right here.
Oh, almost a block.
So she's a good 68 years older than the pitcher that has to deliver this pitch to Albert Pujols. The 3-2 is just a bit outside, and Posey wanted that one, so did Baumgartner. Cardinals now with a couple of base runners. Enjoy the Cardinals baseball experience at Busch Stadium when you stay at the Hyatt Regency St. Louis at the Arch. Package includes overnight accommodations, $10 food and beverage credit per day at the Brew House, tickets to a Cardinal game, plus a personalized Rawlings baseball bag. Visit HyattRegencySt.Louis.com for more information.
And Minnie Carter up there in St. Charles. She was 93 yesterday.
Matt Holliday swings at the first pitch, and he was right on that one. Fouled it straight back. And he was trying to give the Cardinals a lead right there. They trail by 2. You mentioned, Al, the hits not producing very much. The Cardinals 1 run on 7 hits. The Giants 3 runs on 7 hits.
Albert and Holliday have been real good hitters in August also against Giants.
Ground ball up the middle. Sanchez catches it on the bag, and this will be an inning-ending double play. And another Cardinal rally is thwarted. On to the 6th. Cardinals trail by 2. That's from the Aqua Bar at Lumiere Place Casino. Watch player interviews and hear from Tony La Russa. Plus, Pat Paris and I will break down the game for you. Missouri Lottery Cardinals live after the game on Fox Sports Midwest. And another big crowd. Hopeful that the Cardinals will find some offense here in the last 4 innings of this contest. The Cardinals trail 3-1. Bottom part of the order for the Giants against Jake Westbrook, who has thrown a ton of pitches.
Yeah, and the crowds have been outstanding. They wanted more from their team. And, of course, after Sunday's finale here, the Cardinals will be on the road for 17 out of 20 games.
Can be a tough stretch.
Real tough stretch. Then they come back and face Cincinnati, 3 home games in that 20.
Cardinals have been better at home, 39-22, and they've been trying to win that 40th home game now for the better part of 4 or 5 days, and they've played 5 games under 500 on the road, 26-31.
Came off the road trip, they were 20 games over 500 at home, one Friday night, so 21, and then dropped 4 straight.
Mike Fontenot swings and misses. That's the second time he has struck out here tonight. You can enjoy a game at Busch Stadium Sunday, August 22nd. Very special night. The Cardinals will take on the Giants. 25,000 fans of all ages will take home a collectible bobblehead featuring Cardinals starting pitcher and 2009 National League Comeback Player of the Year, Chris Carpenter, courtesy of Train. For more info or tickets, visit Cardinals.com. And Chris Carpenter
Be going tomorrow.
will go tomorrow against Tim Lincecum. How about that matchup? Can it get any better than that?
Not really.
And Jaime Garcia has been announced. If you missed it in our pregame show here tonight, Jaime Garcia has been announced as Sunday's starter, pushing Kyle Loesch back.
What does that tell you is
Tells me the Cardinals want to win on Sunday.
well, I mean, the concern was the innings piling up for Jaime, and I think trying a chance to give him an extra day's rest in order to keep him one on his schedule. And Loesch gets pushed back.
Watchful eye of Dave Duncan. He and Tony La Russa talking perhaps about the pitch count of
It's 113, so probably his last day of work, and 114 will do it.
Baumgartner can't hit. 1-2-3 inning for Westbrook. Feliz, Molina, and Jay when we come back. To 1926, August 20th of that year, the New York Giants. Frankie Frisch misses a sign, and the team goes on to lose to the Cardinals. Later, he ends up arguing with the manager, John McGraw, legendary manager, and ends up getting traded to the Cardinals. That is this date in history. Very appropriate piece of Cardinal history there.
And of course, and a tie to Cardinal history is that's who Tony La Russa is chasing. Is John McGraw in the Major League all-time wins list, managerial wins. Tony is third with 2,617. John McGraw 2,763. Second place. Tony passed John McGraw last season in games managed. Tony's second all-time games managed.
And of course, they're trailing Connie Mack, who essentially owned the team.
Well, that's it. You know,
pretty easy to manage for a long time when you own the team.
The old story is, why do you tell you, or managers tell you, unless you own the team or die, you're gonna get fired. But Tony, 2 more years, if he continues, he'll go into the second all-time in the wins list.
Spectacular career, Hall of Fame career for Tony La Russa. 1-2 pitch just misses to Feliz. Feliz singled in the second, popped up in the third inning. First day as a Cardinal. Probably still meeting some of the players. You mentioned learning the signs. And there's a ground ball to short. Fontenot takes care of Feliz for out number 1. 6 is a serious number around here. Cardinals score 6. You get a 20-ounce coffee, fountain, or frozen drink for just a quarter the next day at On the Run and Mobile. Win or lose, if the Cardinals manage to score 6, you score 25-cent drinks at On the Run and Mobile. Mitchell Boggs
and Hawksworth
and Blake Hawksworth, two right-handers getting this.
Give you the impression there that if the Cardinals take the lead or tie it up, that it'll probably be Boggs and maybe Hawksworth if it stays here 3-1. That's what I would deduce from that. I'm still not sure that that Hawksworth is not going to make another start at some point.
Could be. I'll say one thing about the Cardinal bullpen. They have transformed in the last 5 years from the right side. They've got a lot of miles per hour in that bullpen. There was a time where the Cardinal relievers didn't all throw very hard. They've got a ton of guys out there that can bring it. And of course, Jason Mott has been hurt.
Congratulations to Trevor Miller. Today before the game, he was named the Cardinals Heart and Hustle from the Major League Baseball alumni.
Line drive to left and right. Matt Pearl. And our Cabot Woodstein legendary performance. This date, 1998, Mark McGwire becomes the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 50 homers 3 years in a row. We'd like to see a couple more home runs here tonight from his Redbirds.
I'd like to see a couple of them be 3-run home runs. Trevor Miller was recognized by the alumni, Major League Baseball alumni, where they take one representative from every team and then they have an overall winner. But I thought it was a very nice tribute as all the members of the bullpen came out to congratulate their fellow bullpenner on his being named. And he you know, and also, you know, his great family situation, his daughter with all the problems. His wife was down on the field taking a picture. And I said, how long you been here? And she goes, I flew in today and I'll fly back home tomorrow. But she wanted to get a picture, and that's sure it was very meaningful. Trevor told me it meant an awful lot for him to be named that recipient.
Strike 3 on the outside corner takes care of John Jay. He'd been 2 for 2. Quick inning for Bumgarner. The Cincinnati Reds on Friday, September 3rd, right here on Fox Sports Midwest. And we, of course, have seen some action with those Reds. Some big moments and some big moments to come as the Cardinals try to handle that very good pitching staff of the Cincinnati Reds. The rivalry continues. Don't want to miss that game. September 3rd, Friday night. Coverage begins at 6:30 right here on Fox Sports Midwest. And Blake Hawksworth takes over for the Redbirds. 6 innings, 3 runs for Jake Westbrook. An off-speed pitch, strike 1 to Andres Torres, who's very happy to see Westbrook out of this game. He struck out 3 times.
Blake's got some good stuff, and recently he's been pitching very well out of the bullpen. He makes 7 starts for the Cardinals.
And he's our Chevy call to the bullpen, bobbled by Ryan, and he's got enough time and a strong enough arm to throw out Andres Torres. It's one of those you got to hurry but not rush.
And you know, he likes to throw down with that sidearm, so it's one of the times where it necessitated that delivery, and you can see he guns him by a half step. But Brendan Ryan, early in the season, when he was not playing as well defensively as he took his offensive struggles to the field, you know, they kind of had to talk to him a little bit about trying to throw over the top. But now he's back to playing that Gold Glove caliber defense.
A lot of confidence too.
Well, Dan, I think Ricky, I think it's a very valuable lesson where the Cardinals this season, you know, they naturally assumed that everyone was just going to add on to what they accomplished last year. And you've got to remember there's an awful lot of young players that, and even some of your veterans like Molina got off to the horrible first half offensively. You know, Schumacher got off to the bad start. Brendan Ryan 100 points below his average of a year ago, and his defense suffered for it. David Freese gets hurt.
Base hit to right field. Alan Cray's going to have to hurry. And as he gets it in, Buster Posey slides into second base with a 1-out double. Highest batting average and a rookie since 1952. Actually goes back before 1952 because the
Showboat,
very famous Showboat Fisher. Who's that, Al?
Oh, you don't remember Showboat?
I do not.
I must admit that back in 1930 he got 7 hits off of me.
No wonder he had such a high batting average.
That was it.
I'm sure you'd have thrown at him before that happened. 2-0 to Aubrey Huff.
That was a problem. I threw at him twice and he got base hits.
Must have hit him in the wrong spot.
I hit his bat.
That's the wrong spot. That's a big run out there at second base for Blake Hawksworth. Cardinals trailing by 2 already. And here's where your bullpen becomes very valuable. 7th and 8th inning. Give your team a chance to come back and win.
Every team's goal is to knock out that starting pitcher as quick as you can and get into the middle relief. And another quality start for Westbrook. So all 4 of his starts have been quality starts. 6 innings, like tonight, 3 runs or less. But the only problem is on the short end of a 3-1 score.
And probably the worst thing you can say about the outing of Westbrook is he had to throw a lot of pitches, 113 in 6 innings. Walked 2, struck out 7. And he had to work pretty hard just to give up the 3 Giants runs on 7 hits. Hawksworth working here in the 7th inning.
Part of Westbrook's trying to figure out, why am I striking out so many people? He struck out 3 or 4 in his win, but he's been striking out 7 or 9 in his other 3 games, and
he's a guy used to the rhythm of a 7 or 8 pitch inning, a couple of ground balls, and this is probably new territory for him. 3-2 to Huff. First base is open. And this ball hit deep to right field. Back goes Craig, and he runs out of room as this ball is hit over the Cardinal bullpen. A 2-run homer for Aubrey Huff makes it 5-1 Giants.
That is his 21st home run. RBI is 69 and 70, and when the Giants score more than 3 runs, they usually win. Cardinals have to score at least 4 to win.
And this is a Hardy's prime cut.
And it's a sinker ball, but it stays up to a low ball hitter. And he punishes the ball over the Cardinal bullpen.
A couple of very long home runs for the Giants.
See, it's right down, low ball hitter, and gets it right down there and then lifts it. And the ball out away from him, onto the sweet part of the bat.
The second he made contact, he knew it was gone, and Blake Hawksworth knew it was gone.
We saw Alan Craig go back and said, Alan, you're going to run out of room sooner or later. But
makes it look a little better for the pitcher.
Yes, it does.
You don't want to just stand there and just
a lot of times
move at all.
Outfielder just turns just to see how far it's going over the wall, but do a courtesy jog out there.
Remember many moons ago watching a game on television where Jimmy Wynn was playing center field, and there was a home run hit to center field, and he literally never moved. He had his hands on his knees, and he just kept them there. Now, for a center fielder, you know that ball had been crushed.
And then you got the other side of it as a walk to Burrell is, Mike Shannon, when he was playing right field, that there was a fly ball hit out to Yankee Stadium, and he tried to get up on the fence and catch it as it hit the facade in the upper deck.
Well, the effort was there.
Yeah.
Catch the Cardinals crew tomorrow morning. Andy Bennis and Fred Bird celebrate back to school as Fred Bird gives lessons in math, science, and history, and recess, of course. Don't want to miss that. Cardinals crew made possible by Shriners Hospital for Children. That airs on Saturdays at 11:30 in the morning on Fox Sports Midwest. That's a great show. I love that show.
Good for you.
I'm not even a kid, but I like watching.
Get it hard. I can't wait to go back to school with Fred Bird, the elementary school program.
And I have seen your program. By the way, you've been doing that a long time, Al.
Well, my buddy Joe Cunningham started that program 20-plus years ago, and they're going to honor him Sunday here at the stadium. Smokey Joe Cunningham. But Joe, when he went into semi-retirement, was afraid that that program, nobody would pick it up. And I said, Joe, I believe in it. These kids don't know me now as a player, so it's appropriate for me to get involved, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Swing and a miss.
And we're making a new videotape.
You are?
Yeah, well, some of our players change quickly.
I'll say. Ian strikes out. Hawksworth trying to get through this inning. Well, I've had a chance to fill in for you and Joe a couple of times in those programs, and I've seen you guys do it, and you guys are phenomenal at it. The kids love it. Of course, they love Fred Bird.
Yes. He makes fun of me, but it's free to the schools, and we recommend all the school administrators or a teacher to call up the Cardinals, ask for Jessica in the elementary school program, anti-drug message.
Yeah, it isn't just a visit, and it's not just about sports.
No, it's interactive. It's a lot of fun, and Fox Sports has gotten real involved in it and chief sponsor of it, so it's appropriate. And Andy Bennis helps out with it. I think Mabry's even going to do some this year.
And again, Joe Cunningham.
And Joe still participates.
And he's done so much for this Cardinal organization. He was a very good hitter, number one. But he has been in the front office for a very long time, done a great job, and he also had a lot to do with the origins of what the party suites are all about. He actually kind of invented that with a room in Old Busch Stadium. He just used to bring some friends and realize that, you know what, folks might like to have a party room at the ballpark. And of course, now the ballpark has plenty of those. And that was really Joe's idea. There's a line drive to right. takes care of Sandoval, but a couple of more big runs for the Giants. They lead 5-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Ron Tejan is today's merchandise winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th, Ron qualifies for a Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. And here are our responses to the U.S. Cellular text poll about your former Giant favorite, Willie Mays. Not surprising.
Can't argue with that one.
No. Miles lost this one into shallow center field, handled by Freddie Sanchez for out number 1. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Lumiere Casino. Every time the Cardinals win, the next day get a free buffet with a purchase of 1 at the kitchen at Lumiere Place. Visit My Choice for details. And by Taco Bell, open 2 a.m. or later.
Bob Myers of Washington, Missouri, a huge Cardinal fan, turns 50 today. Happy birthday, Barb.
Well, what do you think of this young left-hander, Madison Bumgarner?
Impressive. He's 21 years of age, just turned that on August 1st, and he's just really handcuffed the Cardinals. He scattered 7 hits, but 4 of those came in the 2nd inning, and they were all 4 singles, so the Cardinals could only get 1 run out of it.
3-hopper to the second baseman Sanchez. Ryan makes it close. 2 outs for the Cardinals here in the 7th inning. And what's on tap tomorrow? Chris Carpenter goes against Lincecum. Tomorrow, 5:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals take on the Giants, game 2 of the 3-game weekend series. And it is the premier pitching matchup here this weekend.
And a lot of military people in stands tomorrow, as General Hodges will be representing Scott Air Force Base.
Base hit to center for Lopez.
And the base commander at Fort Leonard Wood will be throwing out first pitches, along with a couple command sergeant majors and a couple wounded warriors.
Always great to have our servicemen and women here at the ballpark.
And then today, before the game, we had a contingency of young men and women that stood up, took the oath of allegiance for the Army. And good luck to them.
Alan Craig Bats with 2 outs. Lopez the runner at first. Cardinals trailing by 4. That 2 spot in the top of the 7th inning was a real dagger administered by Aubrey Huff. His 21st home run of the season. Giants have a couple of home runs, he and Sandoval. And the Cardinals have not managed an extra base hit beyond Jay's double in the 4th inning.
This next pitch will be number 88. Bumgarner and Ramon Ramirez is warming up in their bullpen.
He's probably young enough to not even ever get tired. You ever get tired when you were 21?
Heck no. You know, talked about Joe Cunningham. He was my first minor league manager.
Was he?
And playing in the Cal League, 19 years of age. I threw back-to-back games, 163 pitches. And the next game, I threw 172.
Wow.
And yes, I did get out of the 1st inning.
So you are not really one of those pitch-to-contact kind of guys.
I had back-to-back 17 strikeouts, but
okay. Not bad. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground to the third baseman. Tough hop, but it's handled by Sandoval. Cardinals strand one more runner. They have now stranded 7 onto the 8th. It's 5-1, and here is tonight's in-game box score presented by Mass Mutual. John Jay, 2 for 3, has done the most damage, and evening out on the base hits, but nothing to get too excited about, as the Cardinals have only managed 1 run in this game. Albert Pujols 0 for 2, but both of those at-bats, he hit that baseball right on the nose, Al. Yeah, no results.
All right, Chevy called the bullpen. Mike McDougal will come into this ball game. Former closer in Kansas City, and then last year with the Nationals, then had hip surgery. Fought his way back, had an option minor league contract coming off the hip surgery, and had an escape clause, and elected to take that and sign with the Cardinals. Worked his way up here in his 8th appearance.
We now check out the Cardinals' Haynes comfort moment. Cardinals bullpen ranked 3rd fewest in the National League in innings pitched.
See, that is a crucial stat, and you could, somebody from the bench is home plate umpire is trying to get Tony's attention. Sometimes you think of the backdrop or something was the umpire is taking exception to, so you'll tell Tony because of the home team, and he'll make a call to the upstairs to the scoreboard. Backdrop now, it is in place, but sometimes maybe the music or something was a little late in turning it off.
Cardinals with a couple of changes defensively. Aaron Miles stays in the game to play second. Lopez at short. And sometimes they're clarifying that, too, the batting order. But I don't think in this case it makes much sense. Clearly, you're just bringing in McDougal to pitch here.
Also a sign on the scoreboard, National Weather Service has issued a severe weather warning for St. Louis. And you should need to take shelter to designated areas if it starts raining.
And that might have been the reason for the conversation. We noticed the grounds crew a couple of times have come out to have conversations with the home plate umpire.
They are expecting some severe weather, but I think they were talking closer to 10 o'clock.
And a base hit to left for Fontenot. He is a pesky hitter. He's now 2 for 4. And McDougal gives up a hit to his first batter.
Well, the LSU double play combination on their championship back in the early 2000s now split up from the Cubs. Fontenot originally signed with Baltimore, was part of the Sammy Sosa deal when he went, and then Terrio has gone to the Dodgers.
Not only were they split up, they both went to different clubs.
Right.
Dougal throws hard. There's a fastball at the knees, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. We mentioned the good arms in this Cardinal pen.
That's what I was talking about. Is one of the real keys is to make you throw very few innings out of that bullpen. Everyone stays sharp that way, and it means your starters are going deeper into ball games. But it really has not been pitching staff. It's been the lack of offense. And of course, when Loesch went out and Brad Penny, the Cardinals found that they had to get another starter at the trade deadline, got Westbrook, which was a good deal.
Sanchez takes the 0-2 pitch the other way. Back-to-back hits for the Giants.
You always try to stay out of the middle of the plate. And when you throw it right down the middle.
Like right there?
Yeah. Yeah, guys, they aren't going to do a lot of damage, but like you say, they're very pesky, and they'll punch you to death with singles. Bumgarner going to bunt here. Remember, we talked about how he's already showed tonight that he can swing the bat.
Base hit in the second inning. He lined out to the first baseman Pujols and also hit a hard ball back up through the box that was handled by Westbrook. So he's had 3 pretty good at bats.
Right. Average 154. He drove in his second run of the year in this game. They're still anticipating the bunt, but he's trying not to commit. And now we know why they let him swing away.
Not very good form there. He almost didn't even get squared around.
It was not.
Did you get a chance to bunt very often, Al?
Yes and no. I'd get them all my at-bats in September.
Right. Usually swinging away, not bunting?
Well, I'd be late in the season, and if I came into a tie score, I would stay in the game. Or if I came in and then all of a sudden we took the lead, and then I'd hit from myself. I hit 300 2 years.
Not too bad.
One year I didn't have a hit going into September and hit 308.
Is he bunting again? 0-2. He is. Squares, and he pops it up in foul territory, and he is out anyway. Feliz doesn't have to catch that ball.
If you catch that ball And remember, he might almost have to leave his feet to dive for it. And that runner at second base, well, both runners would likely be able to advance.
So let it drop.
So, but, it's one of those catch-22s. You don't want to nonchalant it. And in your first game with a new ball club, if you don't go after it, then the fans get on you. So, no harm, no foul. Strikeout.
Any way you look at it, Torres has struck out 3 times. He's 0 for 4 here tonight. The Cardinals have handled him well, but not the rest of this Giant lineup, particularly Aubrey Huff, who's 2 for 3, and his home run in the 7th inning has given the Giants the 5-1 lead.
And he came in hitting .321 in his last 27 games. 4 home runs. Surprising. And he has 12 home runs on the season.
And he's late on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and he finds himself 0-2 again. The Giants have a very good bullpen as well, Al, and you get a lead. If you're Bruce Bochy, you start to feel a little bit more comfortable when you get towards the 7th and 8th inning, because you've got guys that are red hot in that bullpen.
Yeah. Wilson's outstanding, their closer, and he has 33 of their 40 saves. So Bochy now, as he's gotten 7 innings from the starter, and looks like he may send him back out there after he bunted for and hit for himself. Kind of bit surprising, but I like it. I'll let these kids look over their shoulder.
And find out what you've got.
Sure, absolutely. And McDougal, it's been a while since he's been out there. Prior to tonight, his last time he pitched was the 15th of the month. Ricky, guy's always looking over his shoulder, but sometimes he has to stay out there and try and clean up his own mess.
Pretty good pitch there. Just misses the inside corner. 2-2.
Fox Tracks will tell you by the Missouri Lottery that ball is a pitcher's pitch right on the black. And I think for the most part we've been very happy with Gary Cedarstrom's strike zone.
I would agree.
And with impending bad weather, calls as many strikes as possible.
I would agree again.
Of course, we agree that you call every pitch a strike. Within reason.
Within reason. You can reach it.
And, hitters will adjust. Whitey told me a long time ago he was leading off in a game and there was a very bad weather report. First pitch was about a couple inches outside, strike 1. Next pitch was 6 inches outside, strike 2. He looked at the umpire and he goes, Whitey, we're getting this game in.
2-2 pitch, fouled off.
He swung at the next pitch. I'll make Whitey hit a home run, but as he rounded the bases, told an on-deck hitter, he goes, boys, they're going to call everything strike, so go up there hacking. He said they got a complete game in. Everybody understood that it's going to be a generous strike zone, and all hitters needed to adjust to it.
2-2 the count to Andres Torres. And there's a base hit up the middle, his first hit. And the Giants may score another run. Close play at the plate, but sliding in safely is Mike Fontenot, and it's 6-1 Giants. It has not been the Cardinals' night. And beyond that has not been the Cardinals' week.
No, it really has not. And you can fault all aspects of the game here. Our pitching has not been that good. As you've allowed a couple home runs, 12 hits and 6 runs. But the offense has been virtually non-existent with 7 singles, 1 run driven in, 1 double. Just expect more from what was advertised a very explosive offense.
And I think you're always going to find some folks who question effort, but in my mind, I think you can certainly question execution and performance and getting the job done, but I don't think it's a lack of effort. We see these guys working hard on their hitting and working early. Mark McGuire is first guy here at the ballpark trying to help guys get things right.
Totally agree. And
ground ball to Albert to second base. Nice play there by Lopez, and McDougal misses the bag at first. He says he was on the base.
He missed it initially, and that sometimes is all it takes. Hickok, had that rough call earlier, but a nice play by Albert, and then Felipe really did a nice job. But when McDougal came over, he missed the bag the first time. Now the question is, did he retouch it before the runner stepped on the plate? But clearly when he took the throw, watch right here, he misses the bag. He's in front of the bag there. Now does he come back and touch it? Yes. And he blows another call at first base. He missed it the first time. Watch here. You see he's out in front of the bag. So he realizes it, and he definitely goes on top of the bag ahead of the base runner. There's no doubt about it, and a bad call.
Actually, hard to believe he missed that call.
Yeah, he's right. Perfect.
And he stepped on the foot of McDougal almost.
And his perfect positioning, but
the double play does not happen, and Mike McDougal has to face Aubrey Huff here, top of the 8th inning, and we have not seen things go the Cardinals' way.
Going back to Tony La Russa's teams, one thing you can always say is they are well prepared. They will give you that effort. And Tony always says, I like my ball club, but we'll find out if we're good enough. And right now, they're not good enough.
And if you were going to make any kind of criticism over the years of a Cardinal team led by Tony La Russa, is that there are times where it seems they work too much, more so than not enough. I mean, argument could be made. Tony's rarely takes batting practice off with his club, and they take a lot of extra hitting, a lot of extra work. And he believes that that's how you get players prepare better. You put a little pressure on them, make them work hard, you work your way out of slumps.
Well, and today's hitters just have to hit. And you and I watch teams where, teams kind of felt like, hey, you got to back off a little bit and relax. It's a matter of taking so much hitting to where you get tired and pick up bad habits.
Good fastball right in on the hands.
Set up away, but the ball's up and in. Gets a call.
Relax is not a word, by the way, Tony uses very often.
No.
Not sure he has that in his vocabulary. 2-2 the count to Aubrey Huff. Ooh, pretty good pitch there.
But Ricky, who are you or I to sit there and say that he doesn't know what he's doing?
I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying he's not big on relaxing.
Right. And I mean, it's worked. He's third in the all-time win list.
John McGraw probably didn't relax very much either. Connie Mack did.
Connie Mack didn't.
He owned the team
because his tie and hat would get in the way.
The 3-2 to Huff. Ball 4.
I think John McGraw owned the team at one time too.
And the bases loaded after that missed call at first base, and more work to do for Mike McDougal. He's already given up a run here in the 8th inning. The Cardinal bullpen has given up 3. And any way you look at it, this has not been a well-played game for the Cardinals. First pitch strike to Burrell. 6 grand slams in his career.
He's got 136 RBIs with the bases loaded.
I didn't like seeing that stat. Ground ball. This is going to be a tough play. Feliz bare hands, and he's got it. Good play by Pedro Feliz. Avoids further damage here in the 8th inning. The Giants pick up another run. Albert. Holiday. and Felice. Let's see what they can do. Sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By AT&T Mobility, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America.
Cardinals would like to welcome the newest member of the Endicott clan to the Cardinal Nation. Leo James Endicott was born to his parents, Tim and Betsy Endicott, in Tulsa, Oklahoma yesterday. So congratulations.
More Cardinal fans.
Need them.
Albert Pujols leads it off for the Cardinals here in the 8th inning, and it has been tough going offensively for the Redbirds all week long. One strike pitch to Albert, up and in for a ball. The Cardinals dropped 2 out of 3 to the Chicago Cubs, which was hard enough, but then losing 2 straight to the Brewers, and are in danger of losing the opener here to the Giants on this homestand. Good swing by Albert.
Giants were a good ball club.
No question.
And they have great pitching. Got a revamped offense that's banged out a couple home runs, 12 hits and 6 runs here tonight. They have stranded 10. The Cardinals are just having a tough time beating sub-500 teams. Aubrey Huff moves from first base to left field. Burrow out, and Ishikawa is your new first baseman.
And a foul ball off the front foot of Albert. He stays alive, 1-2. You mentioned Albert beginning action 5th in the National League in batting. Began the night at 314. First in home runs at 31. First in RBIs at 87.
Sergio Romo, right-hander, warming up. That was the 96 pitch by the young left-hander.
And Bruce Bochy's leaving him in for the middle of this order, too. And a long one to center field. Back goes Torres, and it's gone. Home run number 32 for Albert Pujols. And it's 6-2 San Francisco. I just had a feeling that might happen.
And it was tied with Adam Dunn, with it now takes over the lead with 32nd and his 398th of his career. And that'll probably be the last pitch that he throws tonight as Bruce Bochy slow walk to the mound.
Well, he makes it worthwhile staying around at the ballpark. Albert Pujols provides a thrill. Cardinals pick up a run here. And we're going to have a pitching change. Matt Holliday hits when we come back. By the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 6-2 Giants. We have a new pitcher. His name, Sergio Romo.
Been very good this year. He's blanked the opposition at 33 of his last 37 outings. Right-handed batters have hit under 200 against him. He struck out 52 while issuing just 11 walks. Second appearance.
Very good numbers. A low earned run average. And a very good slider. There's a fastball. He tried to get in on the hands of Matt Holliday, who's 1 for 3 here tonight. And let's just call that interesting facial hair. Almost looks like it's fake.
It does.
Like you might put that on in a skid or something.
There you go with your post-game stuff. Anybody tonight?
No.
No doctor, no nothing? No Shakespeare?
Straight up. And down goes Matt Holliday. That's the second time he struck out here tonight. Book is closed on Madison Bumgarner. 7 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts for the young left-hander, who's trying to win his 5th game of the season.
The Giants are scoreboard watching. They're trying to pick up a game on San Diego, who's trailing at Milwaukee 9-6 in the bottom of the 6th. Philadelphia won 1-0.
Feliz lines this one to left field. It's going to drop in front of Huff, who has moved from first base to left field, and a 2-hit night for Pedro Feliz.
You know, you saw that one there. You would move the first baseman out to left field, and he was content to catch that on one hop, and Feliz is thankful. They're struggling. They catch that one on the shoe tops.
That brings in Yadier Molina, who's been pulling the ball with a little bit of authority here tonight.
Look at this.
And he hits this one the other way as the Cardinals decide to run with Feliz. And they're going to end up with runners at first and third. And I'm not sure.
Sherholtz might have thrown him out at third base.
I was thinking the same thing. If he let that ball go, Freddie Sanchez cut it off. But a strong throw from Sherholtz.
Perfect hit and run execution. And you see running right there. There's the patented inside out stroke by Molina. Had almost a little trouble, a little collision out at second base. And Sherholtz threw a cannon. But Sanchez cut it off. I think they had him at third base. At least he would have had been a tag play. Rick Braggs, Dave Righetti out to talk to Romo. And I'm sure they're getting that bullpen up there. And it is Brian Wilson, the closer, along with the lefty.
John Jay will try to keep things going for the Cardinals here. Cardinals trail by 4.
Out here, Lopez is the lefty warming up.
You mentioned earlier, Al, the nice crowd here tonight. It's the 23rd sellout of the season, 43,822 here at the ballpark. Backdoor slider is strike 1 to John Jay. Jay is 2 for 3, singled in the second, doubled in the fourth.
I'm sure they got a nice promotion going tomorrow, but Sunday with the Carpenter bobblehead brought to you by Train, that'll be a sellout. That Cincinnati series will sell out. So I'd get your tickets early.
John Jay can manage a gapper here. He can make this game interesting. Again, talking about how important it is for the Cardinal bullpen to go out in the 7th and 8th inning and put up some zeros.
Yeah, they gave up 3 runs in the 7th and 8th, but still the Cardinals are in striking distance if they get that big hit right here. And they have been coming from behind but falling short. Started a little bit earlier. Started here in the in the 8th inning, maybe they can get the job done.
0-2 to Jay. And there's a tapper to second base. Sanchez flips it, and not in time. And that will score Pedro Feliz. Good base running job by Yadier Molina, not allowing himself to get tagged. And John Jay reaches on the fielder's choice, picks up an RBI, and our score is now 6-3 Giants.
It's one of those times where Molina's lack of running speed helped out. Wasn't close enough to run into a tag.
And so the Cardinals have 2 outs. Jay aboard at first base, and that run manufactured by sending Pedro Feliz on the successful hit and run with Yadier Molina. Feliz has 2 hits, Molina 2 hits, John Jay 2 hits. Cardinals have 11 hits. They trail 6-3. Aaron Miles flew out as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, batting for the 2nd time.
And the win is on deck. That's the pitcher spot as Aaron Miles is pinch hit in the starting pitcher spot, but the relief spot is the 9th. So Randy. Had to be a tough decision to send Stavinoa out. And in my mind, I guess the Cardinals elected to go with the veteran Randy Wynn.
Stavinoa has been a very good pinch hitter.
He's got 11 pinch hits and 2 pinch hit home runs this year.
Loman into Miles. And in some ways, you've got to think that Cardinal rally, the more they can extend it in the 8th inning, the better off they are, because once you get to Brian Wilson, it gets a little bit tougher. Brian Wilson's 2nd in the National League in save percentage. He's behind Heath Bell. And guess who's 3rd? Our guy, Ryan Franklin, 3rd in the National League in that department. 2-0 pitch is hit foul.
That's a percentage.
By percentage, correct. Well, all 3 of them over 90%.
Not enough opportunities. Brian Wilson does have a 2.05 ERA. Does have 34 saves, 3 wins, 4 decisions.
We may see him pitching to Albert Pujols before the night is through.
That's another reason why I keep on going, so you bring up Albert, and hopefully we'll have men on base. Multiples. Toronto had some fun at the expense of the Bo Sox, 16-2.
Aaron Miles trying to keep things going here in the 8th. Cardinals trail by 3. Ground ball foul. Albert Pujols with a home run here to lead off the 8th inning. That chased Madison Bumgarner, who had a very strong outing. Albert's home run measured 427 feet. We've had 3 home runs in this game, and all 3 of them were hit a long way. 2-2 with the count. Pablo Sandoval's home run at 4:15, and Aubrey Huff's homer in the 7th inning, and that was a big blow in this game. A 425-foot shot over the Cardinal bullpen. Two to Miles. Jay, the runner at first. Ball 3. Miles trying to get on base any way he can. A walk, brings the tying run to the plate. So does a hit. And as you've mentioned now, the Cardinals have done a good job showing some life late in games and coming back, but some of those rallies have just fallen short. But I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, you don't want to just lay down. And it's unacceptable for a LaRussa team. And Sunday they fought back, came up short. Wednesday the same.
And another 3-2 pitch is hit on the ground. Jay jumps over it. Freddie Sanchez hasn't made an error since September of last year. That streak continues. And we go to the ninth.
Coming up after the game on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live, Pat Paris and Rick Horton will be at Lumiere Place. Inside the numbers of a rough stretch for the Cardinals. We'll get player reaction from the Cardinal clubhouse. And somebody's taking home a hungo tonight. It is Friday night. Cardinal fans hoping for a rally tonight as we send it back to the booth. And Rick and Al. Gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And the Cardinals have just one more chance here as we go to the ninth inning. Mike McDougall begins his second inning of work. He gave up a run in the eighth inning. The Cardinals did score 2 in the bottom of the eighth. Albert Pujols' home run. An exciting moment there. And there's some fans hanging on, waiting for that last opportunity. In the bottom of the ninth, and Albert Pujols is set to bat fourth. Nate Schierholtz took over in right field, and he takes the ball from McDougall. Schierholtz has been a strong pinch hitter off the bench for the Giants. And he's late on that fastball. Giants have a pretty strong bench. Ishikawa, Schierholtz, and Uribe, and Aaron Rowan have all been guys who've played a lot for this team in the past, and they find themselves on the bench now.
Schierholtz, he's in a little tailspin, just 1 hit in his last 10 at-bats, 2 hits in his last 14. 243 in the starting role. He is hitting .318 overall as a pinch hitter. With just 1 hit in his last 9 pinch hits. Of course, he's been in this game playing first base, so he's not pinch hitting.
And there's a strike high in the zone. And we'll take a look at the Giants that we saw on April 25th, an entirely different lineup. There's a lineup tonight. Lineup on the 25th. Edgar Renteria has been on the DeSema list 3 times. Benji Molina no longer with the team. DeRocha on the disabled list. And there's a couple of names we talked about, Ishikawa and Sherholtz, who are not playing now very often.
Renteria is on the DL. I think he's got about 5 more days before he'll come up with a bicep problem. DeRocha, the same thing that knocked him out of the Cardinal uniform. He had that corrective surgery, but apparently he needs more. So that's a big blow. You can understand why they've had to revamp their ball club. They've done a nice job.
Sandoval hits the ball hard to center field and misjudged a little bit by John Jay, and it gets over his head. And this will be a 1-out double for Sandoval, as that is the toughest ball to handle. That line drive hit right at you. You never have to worry about John Jay giving you effort, but not sure he took the right route to that ball.
No, you're right. First time he came in on this ball and then realized he had to go back as he misjudged it. But as you said, they're very tough. When it's coming right at you, you really can't see it off to the side, so you can see the height of that ball, and that ball just exploded on him, and he missed play, and there was 1 out.
Fontenot, the Giants shortstop, is 2 for 4. The Giants now with 13 hits. And you mentioned it, Al, but the pitching has not been great. We talk about the offense a lot, but the pitching really has not done its job here tonight.
But for the most part, Cardinal bullpen has been very good. Starting pitchers, you got to give them, the big 3, you got to give them A's, not A pluses. Loesch has had 1 return, so then Westbrook is another quality start, but not enough. Quality start was developed by an agent to take into arbitration cases and say, my guy didn't get any run support, but look how effective. He gave his team a chance to win. He went at least 6 innings and gave up no more than 3 runs.
So he got
That's a quality start.
That's a QS.
Yeah. The ball club says, yeah, but he's 1-15. Mitchell Boggs is warming up. Looks like he'll come in here. As McDougal running out of gas.
He has thrown a lot of pitches in his 1+ innings. Mitchell Boggs to the rescue. Trying to keep this game close enough to give the Redbirds a shot in the bottom of the 9th. Mitchell Boggs when we come back. And our Budweiser player of the game is Madison Bumgarner. 7 innings, just 2 runs. very good control. He did strike out 5 Cardinals. Just 97 pitches in 7 innings.
His last one was the home run to Albert Pujols, and Mitchell Boggs come into this ball game with his ability to strike out hitters. That's what Tony's hoping for. 48th appearance, ERA under 4.
And a good slider from Mitchell Boggs. Is strike 1 to Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez 2 for 4. He's hitting with 2 runners aboard. Top of the 9th inning and 1 out. Boggs hoping for a double play. And he jams Sanchez. John Jay will take care of this one. Out number 2.
It's like Aaron Rowan.
Aaron Rowan, an outstanding defensive center fielder who has occasional power, does have 10 home runs, only played in 90 games, and he's not really been able to crack the lineup since the Giants have Burrell and Guillen at the corner and Torres playing so well in center field.
Under 150 in his last 12 games. But, you know, he does have, as you mentioned, 10 home runs and a lot fewer at-bats than last season. A couple hundred less. And he's 5 away from his 15 he hit last year.
And there's a line drive, and it's caught by Aaron Miles. Nice defensive play by the Cardinals second baseman Miles, and that'll save an extra run at least here in the top of the 9th inning and give the Cardinals a chance as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Will we see Albert? Recap. Madison Bumgarner started this game for the Giants. The hot rookie was outstanding. Striking out 5. Got some offensive help from Buster Posey, the phenom rookie. He picked up a couple of doubles, drove in a run, scored a run. And on the Cardinals side, Albert Pujols with his 398th career home run in the 8th inning. Pulled the Cardinals to within 3. And that's where we are, bottom of the 9th inning. Randy Wynn will bat against Brian Wilson, the closer for the Giants, and they don't come much better than this guy.
Now, go back to 08, he's established himself as an outstanding closer.
And a ground ball to the shortstop, Fontenot. He's been very busy. Takes care of Wynn.
Wilson, Brian has picked up his 34th save in last night's ball game. He's chasing Keith Bell of San Diego, looking for his 35th here tonight.
Well, the Cardinals need a bloop, and a blast here in the ninth.
I'd only tie it.
That's good enough for now.
Well,
let's not get greedy yet.
That'll tie it. And then Pujols is the blast. And then Holiday can win it.
So a Lopez bloop, a Schumacher bloop, who awaits on deck. He will pinch hit for Alan Craig. And that's the way you have to be thinking if you're the Cardinals right now, batting in the bottom of the ninth. You still have a life. 1-2 to Felipe Lopez. Lopez 1 for 4. Every Cardinal but the pitcher's spot has contributed a hit in this game, but the Cardinals have only managed 3 runs. The 1-2 pitch, fouled on. Cardinals have played well defensively today. One and two is on the outside corner, and down goes Felipe Lopez. Very close pitch, hard to take. Is it a strike?
Backdoor breaking ball. A bit wide.
And more bad news for Cardinal fans. The Reds lead the Dodgers. Dodgers batting in the bottom of the third. That score 1-0.
They've won six straight. And your buddy, Brandon Phillips.
Yeah, my buddy. He's been my buddy a long time, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Not just recently.
No. He's been your favorite player for almost a decade now.
That's about right. There's a ground ball base hit the other way for Schumacher. And the Cardinals have an extra life. Good at bat for Skip. Coming off the bench, taking that ball the other way and giving Albert a chance.
4-game hitting streak for Skip. Tough chance. One shot at an all-star closer.
Tough assignment. And here's a fun matchup. One of the best closers in the game. And the game's best hitter, Albert Pujols. Good slider on the outside corner, strike one.
Power against power.
You bet.
You see a 91-mile-an-hour slider. Trying to throw it again and overthrew it.
And with Matt Holliday on deck, Brian Wilson knows that he doesn't really want to be too careful with Albert. He's got to go at him. Of course, he's the kind of pitcher I think he goes at anybody.
Yes, I think so.
Fires a fastball on the inside corner. Albert not happy with that call. And the strike zone seems to be getting a little bigger here in the ninth inning. Close.
See those pitches go to Albert.
1-2 to Albert Pujols. Cardinals' last chance, bottom of the ninth inning. And a base hit to left center. Schumacher round second. He'll go to third, and the Cardinals still have some life.
There's your bloop, bloop. Now the blast.
That was a pretty hard bloop, Al.
Well, but that's my point.
Close enough.
You're the one that set the stage.
I know.
4 for 9 against Brian Wilson. That's a bit surprising to me.
I agree. But when Matt Holliday is locked in, I don't really think it matters who's pitching to him. We've seen him like that.
300 hitter again this year. Average down a little bit from his career average. But he really is a high average hitter with power.
Tying run at the plate. Cardinals have caught the Giants in hits at 13. Crowd on their feet here at Busch Stadium. And a strike on the inside corner to Holliday.
That line. It seemed like he was trying to pitch him in with the fastball and then work that slider away. That's really the key, in. Slider there, he doesn't offer.
Cardinals have battled back in this game. 2 runs in the 8th inning. Tying run at the plate in Matt Holliday. Wilson, the closer. And a strike on the inside corner. Holliday not happy with that call, and that's the 3rd pitch in this inning that the Cardinals have argued about.
He thought this was low. And it looks like low and in. Very close pitch, but you wouldn't expect him to swing at that one.
Cardinals down to their last strike. And here we go. And a ground ball to second base. And that takes care of Matt Holliday, and he throws his helmet to the ground. And Brian Wilson picks up the save, and the Giants pick up game 1 of this 3-game series. And a 6-3 victory here. And a 5-game losing streak for the Cardinals here at home. And the longest one here since August of 1999, as it's been a very tough homestand for the Cardinals. We'll come back with more.